ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Geek Culture Congress. This is a very, very, very special edition. My name is Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez, and I'm here with my friend Joey Franchize, our nighttime jockey here on Wild 94.1 here in Tampa, Florida. And we have the pleasure to have via telephone Mr. Jason Clarke and Amy Seimetz. They're coming out with a remake of the classic Pet Semetary nationwide April 5th, and they are playing the protagonists, one of the two main protagonists. They're playing Lewis and Rachel Creed. Welcome to Geek Culture Congress, guys.
Hello, how are you?
How you doing?
Amazing.
We're doing great.
Congress, and you discuss politics too.
Well, the culture is kind of a little bit of politics. It's there's always controversy and a debate, so that's why we called it that. In the sci-fi world and of course the horror world. So how did you guys feel when they approached you and take up a Stephen King movie?
I was extremely excited. I mean, I had read Stephen King when I was about 8. I was 8. My parents were just excited that I was reading. I did R.L. Stine, Christopher Pike, and then Stephen King. And then I also had seen the movie, Mary Lambert's movie in 1989 when I was about 8 as well. And so I was thrilled to jump on it. And I also was a big fan of Dennis and Kevin, the directors, their prior film, Starry Eyes. So I was excited when they approached me about it.
That's up. And Jason and Amy, how you doing? It's Joey Franchize here.
Hey, Joey.
How's it going? Now I'm a big fan of you guys and what you guys have done before. How is this and stepping into these roles different from a lot of things that you've done before? Like, what did you have to tap into as soon as you got on set for this one?
I mean, Lewis is a father. He's one of the great fathers in American, literature history. There's a simplicity to him, like an everyman's father. If I could allow the audience to come with me, that lost a cat first and then loses a daughter in our movie, what would you do if you could bring them back? And I felt that was part of my job as well, to play Lewis, but allow people in there to become and not just sympathize, but put themselves in Lewis's shoes.
Very cool, very cool. So this is a new take, of course, on the original story, which was the original novel that came out in 1983, I believe. And then there was another movie that came out in 1989. Did you guys see that or catch up with it again to get inspiration, or do you just goes out the window when you approach something new, when you do like a reboot or a retake of something?
I reread the book as an adult, because my memory of it was when I was a kid, and so my relationship to it was much different when I reread it. So I reread the book before we shot to get familiar with it. It was a much different experience as an adult as opposed to being an 8-year-old. But and we had that on set too. We had this great resource. There's so many good passages in the book that Stephen King wrote that are so helpful when you're trying to figure out a scene or motivation or what would your character be thinking, or even lines that we would work into the actual movie. We had the book at our fingertips.
And then you watch Mary Lambert.
And then I watched all of Mary Lambert. Yeah, and then I watched all of Mary Lambert's early Madonna videos to get inspiration. Mary Lambert directed the original Pet Semetary, and she also directed Like a Prayer.
Oh, awesome.
Just saying. She's kind of great.
I'd walk past the trailer and Amy was getting pumped in there with Like a Prayer, just like out of the stereo.
Just raging into some Madonna.
That's great.
I was bench pressing, listening to Like a Prayer.
The 80s are great. The 80s are great. Yep.
That's awesome. Now, when you guys, looking at the trailer, this is a very obviously it's a new age version of a classic.
Not new age in the spiritual way.
Yeah.
There are no crystals in this movie.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So, I mean, it's very dark. Just by it's chilling just looking at the trailer at times. Even when the kids are walking around with the masks, and even I can't even look at cats the same way. Were you guys, was it easy to sleep at night at times on the set?
I mean,
did you find it hard at, just, maybe a bad dream here or there?
Reality. I mean, I've got 2 little boys, and the reality of the whole thing of losing your child, that really disturbed me. I found this a really rough shoot. It was hard work playing, the stakes of where these characters are at and what goes on, and the whole idea of, being so close to that idea of what would you do if you lost your child. It's very upsetting. Yeah. So I was very, I wouldn't say spooked, but I was superstitious. I didn't want to overthink it or go into it too much. I was happy for it to end, shooting anyway.
I bet. they changed it up a little bit for this movie, according to the trailer. Instead of the son dying, the daughter actually dies, and she's a little bit older than the son was in the original telling of the story. How did that feel? Of course, when you guys are more familiar with the source.
It felt fantastic. You know, it was when you first pick up the script, you realize they're going to do something, you know, in this version to make it a movie, and you're hoping they're going to do something that actually, you know, it organically comes from the book itself, the script, and then it's going to help make it a better movie rather than just a novel. And the fact that we had a 9-year-old girl who was a great actress to play against, rather than a 3-year-old boy who would then have to bring in a doll, because it's, you can't do some of these things with a kid. Once again, it just leaves much more emotional depth and reality and drama and stakes to the part. So I thought it was one of the reasons to do it and to go there.
And all of the changes too. I mean, just because you go to the cinema to see a horror movie because you want to be scared and you want to be surprised. And the only way people are so familiar
and laugh at other people's pain.
And laugh at other people's pain. That's why I go. But that's why I go to all movies. But but you go to be surprised, and you go for a cathartic experience. And the only way to do that, because people are so familiar with the book and the prior movie, even if they haven't even seen it, they know what happens. You have to make changes in order for there to be a dialogue with the audience, and in order for it to be an experience with the audience.
That's awesome. And now, once again, we're here with Amy Seimetz and Jason Clarke, this Geek Culture Congress. And listen, guys, I mean, we live in the movie world. I mean, everybody, like, I can speak for myself. Like, I really love sequels and connected universes. And I see a lot of the comics do that. Also, Stephen King's books have been known to be kind of connected in the same, within its own universe. Are there any type of Easter eggs that we can probably look out for in this one that's probably connected to it or something like that? I mean, just give me a call for something. You know what I mean?
Tell us a yes or no or maybe. How about that?
Any Easter eggs? No, man. This is not, it's not.
It's not about a bunny.
There's no bunny in this movie, man. I looked hard, but I couldn't find a single bunny. It stands alone. I mean, it's its own little. I mean, I guess they could make a sequel. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be roaming out there in some kind of undead world, chasing down.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's a standalone movie, and it works all the better for it.
Great. Amy, you are originally from Tampa.
I am.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that. Do you still come through when you have some downtime, or?
I do come to Tampa a lot. My mom still lives there. I won't tell you where. But she still lives there, so I go there a lot. I also come to Florida a lot because I write as well. I'm a writer-director as well, so I find that Florida's inspiring. Not because it's so beautiful, but because everyone's so crazy, and
well tanned.
And well tanned. No, I'm saying that with love. That everyone in Florida is crazy. I happen to be one of those people. So when I'm writing, I find that it's really helpful to come home and just people watch and experience the dark side of the United States.
And the Cuban sandwiches.
And the Cuban sandwiches, of course.
Yeah. And the Cuban coffee.
And the Cuban coffee.
That stuff is strong, man.
Colada.
It's really strong. Be warned.
And Mons Venus. I always go to Mons Venus.
Oh, hey. We're not going to talk about that. It's a family show.
We're poolside in our, I'm in my Speedos. And
there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, that's what we're doing this interview.
That's awesome. Now, guys.
Coconut load.
Yeah.
Now, just looking at early reviews, it's been getting a lot of good, reviews. Rotten Tomatoes, is giving it right now above 90%. I think I just saw.
Man, that is huge.
That's big, man.
Reviews. That's amazing.
Like, how does that make you feel? Do you guys really rely on what the critics think, or you guys just really focus on look, I know we did a good movie. I walked away feeling good after this. Like, this is going to be great just for fans of the book and just horror movies in general.
I mean, it depends. Film to film. For this one, absolutely. It's with these genre films, in the audience whether it's working or not, and the moments that it has to be visceral. It has to be, a community experience. You can hear people are reacting or they're not, like good stand-up. So to then get a great critical response, to have made a great film, in a time when I think horror films are being made with some of the best filmmakers in the business, that it feels great. The fact that Stephen King gave it his big 2 thumbs up, it feels fantastic. It's it's not looked for, but you know what? Very proud of that. And the fact that it works. Audiences are having a good time He's like, yeah. Damn
Of
straight I
course
want
you
that.
want people to like your work.
Yeah, and pass me the coconut. Well, I asked for that a while ago.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Pet Semetary nationwide, April 5th. If you're enterprising, I believe you can get some tickets on April 4th too, if you really, really want to see it before anybody else. Jason Clarke, Amy Seimetz. Seimetz, yes.
Seimetz. Damn it.
We know where you are. We know where we are.
Yeah, I know.
Once we finish tanning, we're coming for you.
Go ahead and plug away anything else you guys got on the horizon.
Oh, I have a film coming out April 12th called Wild Nights with Emily.
Oh,
as well with
great.
Molly Shannon.
Wild Nights with Emily.
Yeah, it's a comedy about Emily Dickinson.
Okay.
Yeah.
interesting.
Sounds like a sleepover in
It's like a
Tampa.
It's a slumber party. Yeah.
Slumber party in Tampa.
My favorite stripper from Montana. Yeah.
Any more Stranger Things, Amy?
I can't talk about that.
I knew you. I was gonna take a swing. I tried.
I gotta throw a curveball right now at Jason because listen, I know you've done like Terminator in the past, and you've kind of dove in that that realm of the sci-fi and action and things like that. Now with Marvel now picking up Fox and wanting to do X-Men, do you see yourself playing a possible X-Men or Fantastic Four character?
I've already sent Jackman a very threatening letter. Hey, son, dude, you didn't do it. I'm stepping in and I'm gonna throw it down.
Yo, kill it, man! We need you as Wolverine. That was what I was gonna ask, man. You see yourself doing that?
Yeah.
All right,
my
guys.
very long fingernails.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Pet Semetary is in movie theaters April 5th. Go see it. Thank you, Jason Clarke and Amy Seimetz. This is Joey Franchize and Louis Speedy Jr. Gonzalez signing off from Geek Culture Congress, and we will talk to you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.